Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow, then I go, steady and slow. The town nearby had built a simple train station at the closest point to the tracks, which was more than a mile away. I don't know if it was considered a stop for the railroad. I know that an evening train never stopped there. I never saw any passengers get on or come off in the evening. I was never at the station in the morning or during the day. I know about the evening because I frequently came to sit on the bench in front of the station and watch the sunset, and also look out for the lights of the train as it came out of the distance and slowly made its way past the station. As it passed, I watched the men in the engine cab to see what they were doing, while the fire they were stoking lit their faces in a dancing kind of way. I came to the station in my family's wagon and stayed about an hour. Then I rode home in the darkness until I could see the warm light from the windows of the farmhouse and smell my mother's cooking of supper. Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow, then I go, steady and slow. One day as I watched the train winding its way toward the station, it started slowing down and stopped in front of me. Out came a father and his adult son and daughter. They came up close to me, bickering about something. The train started up again, and as the train disappeared into the approaching night, I came to understand that the family was going somewhere to visit a cousin, but the son already knew that the cousin wasn't there. I wasn't sure if that cousin was going to visit them instead, or was visiting some other part of the country and not them. The father and daughter were both angry at the young man. The family would need to stay overnight in town, and they didn't realize they would have to walk over a mile to get there. I introduced myself and offered to ride them into town in my wagon. I hadn't checked recently, but I assumed the town still had a hotel, or at least a boarding house. All the way into town, the three bickered. I was glad to drop them off and head back home. Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow, then I go, steady and slow. I continued to go to the station at the end of the day and watch the train and the engine crew speed by. However, after a few weeks, I started looking at the windows of the passenger cars. I thought, what if the father's daughter was on the train and saw me sitting here alone at the station? I should at least wave back. I started waving back at the train in a half-hearted manner. If she was on the train, then she would know I was waving at her. If she was not on the train, then no one could accuse me of waving at anybody. I couldn't figure out why she was on my mind. Perhaps I thought we could talk about old times. Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow, then I go, steady and slow. My father asked me to pick up some tools at a town that was about 15 miles from our farm, up to where the evening train came from. I thought that I might see the father's daughter in town. I did ask a grocer in town about her and her family. He recognized who I was talking about. He gave me directions to their farm, but I wasn't going to ride to the place like I was an old family friend. I stayed in town overnight, and in the morning, as I came down to the lobby, there was the father's daughter with her father and her brother. Apparently, the grocer told someone who told the family that I was looking for them. They treated me to a fine breakfast, and afterwards Emma asked me if I wanted to see their train station. The train station was in town at the far end. We walked to the station. There were some people there and some workers. The station felt alive compared to the one back home. We sat on the station bench and observed all the things that were going on. In a quiet moment, I told Emma that I saw signs in town about a dance in a few weeks. I asked her if she would go with me to that dance. She said the whole family always goes to the town dances. I laughed and said, "Yes, I can come with my wagon, and we can all ride into town together, just like old times." Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow. Then I go, steady and slow. The dance was still a couple of weeks away. I kept going in the evening to the station near me, mainly to think. When the train sped by, I looked more and more at the passenger cars, thinking about all the stories that were there. Stories that would never be told at this station, mine included. Coming ahead, here comes the train, coming ahead, rolling in again, going out, often just as quick, going out like a burnt-out wick. Then I go, steady and slow. Then I go, steady and slow.